friends, I'm sure you can see from the thumbnail of this video what this is about. This is the finished product, but today I'm going to show you how I got here because that was not the original idea. So if you want to see how I got here, keep on watching. Alright, let's start by showing you what the piece looks like, and it's normal wear and tear for the most part. I did find a few surprises as I went through, but if you don't want to see any of the repairs and all of that stuff, you can skip to this timestamp. If you don't like all the talking and information, go ahead and skip so you don't get angry at me. Okay. So lots of scratches. As per usual, the veneer or the top coat is deteriorated. The only parts that I have some concerns with is these gouges. Hopefully they come off with the sanding. If not, I may have to patch them. Same thing with that. And then of course this one right here. There's that one right there. And then the bottom is coming off. I might have to glue that. And lastly, on the one that has the drop leaf, the hardware is completely worn out, so it won't stay shut, so that will need to be replaced. Hopefully I can find something very similar to it. The radar says it's not going to rain, but it looks really ugly out here. Today I don't have class and I need to sand this so we can get to the fun part, so I'm going to do it. I also have to move the other piece outside all by myself, so yeah, wish me luck. I'm going to spare you guys all of the sanding because nobody wants to see that, but because I'm working on 2 pieces at a time, it seems like I did the same thing for 2 days straight or something like that. So you see me changing outfits quite a bit because it's taking me long to move from one step to another. Get out of my shot. So that screw stripped out. The hole was too big and loose, so we need to reclamp that. And then I guess we're gonna nail it. Since we're gonna paint it, it's okay because I can patch it again, the nail holes. That way, since this is loose, we can clamp it and glue it and it should be fine after that. If you guys have seen any of our videos from earlier, you know that Corey used to be a lot more involved, but since then I have gone back to school and he has gone back to work full-time as well, so that's why you don't see him as much. But sometimes whenever he gets home from work and I'm working outside, I catch him and make him help me.
Necesito un rag.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, this is a filthy rag. This is what you're cleaning your. This is what you're cleaning it with.
Wait, what?
This is what you're cleaning it with.
Yeah. I don't think people care about my shop towels.
This what you've been doing while I've been leaving you at home?
Yes.
Maybe your training wasn't long enough.
You left me here. Do you want to clamp?
No.
Okay.
Look at this. Look how filthy this is.
It's just stain. It's not dirty. Another little repair that the drawers needed is that the bottom needed to be secure, so I found these quarter round pieces of wood in the scrap wood pile and I glued them together to help it support the drawer bottom against the drawer face. Oh, it's so windy outside, oh my god. Let me show you what's going on with this piece. I already took the back off just because I want to show you from the back what's going on. So it looks like somebody already tried to repair this piece, and when they did, they removed these parts from the back and it's causing a problem. So when you try to pull the drawer from the front, this happens. It gets hung up on this. I don't know if you can see how this is bowing. It's going in towards the bottom this should actually be like this, and when you pull the drawer from the front, it should go like this. Smooth, but it doesn't. Okay, so let me show you how it should look. So let's look at this one. You see how this is wedged into the back, and this back is attached to this backing board. It's so it doesn't sag. That's what I need the other one to look like. That one.
This is 1/4 inch, right? Probably.
Looks like it.
More likely. You take 3 pieces that are a quarter. You got to rip them 1/4 inch wide, but they got to be however long you need. So whatever length this is, that's probably what you need.
Glue them together.
Glue them together and make one shorter. Because not only do you need to rip the piece down that wide, you need to rip it to 1/4 inch.
This sounds like a you job.
You ain't here during the day, babe. I mean, yeah, we can get to it, but it ain't gonna be today or tomorrow or Friday. Maybe Friday. I think that'd be your best bet. You'd have a bigger surface to nail to back there, and it would for sure hold this thing in place.
I know, but doesn't it need to be the length of the dresser?
Yeah.
So we don't have anything that long.
Of course we do. We got lots of things out there.
Oh, not 1/4 inch.
No.
Gee, you want me to rip 1/4 inch or 1/8 of an inch?
No, I want you to rip whatever you need to fit around that piece. So it would essentially be a top piece, a bottom piece, and then a middle piece, which is shorter than both of them. It's going to sit on the backside. It's going to receive this piece and butt up next to these.
Okay, so in case you guys didn't catch that discussion, Corey is trying to help me figure out how to resolve that. And so we don't have a dado blade to create dados, and so we had to hack one. So I ripped off some 1/4 inch plywood that luckily we had, because in his original plan I would have to rip the pieces to a 1/4 inch thick. Luckily we had them, so I had a couple pieces that were long enough to go the length of the dresser, and then I am patching the middle piece with some other stuff that we had, since that's not going to show anyway, and I'm just going to glue it together to make the dado. So what he was saying is that that white piece, the lighter color piece, is shorter because it's going to receive the divider into that. It's like a little sandwich. I'll show you how it works in a second. Okay, so you can see it in action again. This little part is the dado joint, and then it sandwiches in here like that, and then it goes all the way across, just like this one I just put up. Once it dried overnight and I cut it to length, I just had to sandwich it in between, or sandwich that drawer divider in between my little dado that I built, and as you can see, it fits really snug, so it's supported by the sides of the dresser, and then it's going to be nailed to the backing of this dresser, and that should keep my drawers in place, or my drawer dividers and my drawer guides in place, and keep them from bowing. Somebody's playing me. Something's going on here, because seriously, I feel like things should work out the way they're supposed to at least 70% of the time. You know, like, life doesn't always go according to plan. That's okay. But I didn't know I was gonna have to fix the back of that dresser. Like, that was not part of the plan. But also, I went through the trouble of making that from scratch and repairing it. No big deal. That's okay. Things don't go according to plan. But now I have another obstacle. Why? Tell me why this drawer guide is going all the way out. My dado is hitting it, but if you look at the rest, there is a big gap. This should go all the way in, but this guy is stopping it. Why isn't it the same size as that one that went in just fine? Why? Why? Tell me why. Okay, this is what's gonna happen. I'm annoyed. That's a loud bird. But I'm annoyed. I'm irritated with it because... Shut up! I'm trying to do a story. I'm annoyed. I'm gonna set it aside. I'm just not going to work on it today, I think. Or maybe I'll just wait for Corey to get home so he can give me some ideas, see if he thinks of something else. I think I know what I need to do, but I don't want to do it, so yeah. While I waited for Corey, I decided to clean the inside of the dressers so that I could keep moving forward, since this is taking a long time. Hey, are you gonna tell him?
I was gonna let Blanca do it the hard way, but I figured she needed a break. So I took the piece that she was concerned about out and I flipped it around. And it was just backwards.
And there you have it, my dear friends. It turns out that whenever they were trying to repair it and left that dado out to begin with, they also flipped the drawer divider to the front side to the back, and that's why it wasn't fitting. If I was a more experienced worker, I probably would have tried that, or I would have known to check that, but I'm not. So luckily Corey helped me, and once we flipped around and got the dado in there, we secured the back to it again. Okay, here it goes. First coat of paint. If you have seen my videos before, you know that I always prime my furniture with shellac, so I already did that, and I'm only going to show you the spray part for a little bit, because again, it's 2 pieces, there is 3 to 4 coats of paint, so a lot of the same stuff. But once we get past the painting, we're gonna move to the actual fun part. Hi guys, welcome to my kitchen. I usually work inside whenever it's something that, you know, I'm not spraying, because the paint that I use, as you guys know, does not have any VOCs and it doesn't smell bad and it's water-based, so I should really lay a drop cloth on the floor, but honestly I almost never do, because if I spill something I'll just wipe it with a wet rag and it'll be just fine. I have been putting off these pieces for a long time because I've had this idea for also a very long time, and I'm scared to do it because I have no idea if it's gonna work. And the idea is that I want to do a full bone inlay, so like mother of pearl inlay, bone inlay, and what I'm going to do is that I'm gonna mix some colors and hopefully it works. As you guys know, if it doesn't work, you'll never see this part, so that's okay. All right, let's get started. This is a super awkward angle, but this is my only window that I can use for better lighting. We have a small house, a small kitchen, so you're just gonna have to not be super critical of this, okay? The key to a really good looking stencil job is to make sure you measure everything, that everything is centered. So I'm measuring the drawers to find the center of the drawer faces, I'm measuring vertically and horizontally, and then I have to measure all of my stencils to make sure the pattern that I want, it's going to fit the way I want it, especially because on this one I am piecing it together to make a specific look. I do have another more in-depth stencil tutorial. It's actually one of my most popular videos. I'm making a playlist of all the stencil videos I have done. So if you want a more in-depth tutorial, I'm going to link those so that you can watch them, just because this video is already getting pretty long. Back to this. The idea with bone inlay is that it usually is an ivory color, and then it has some darker spots, like some tan spots, and then it has some sheen, like some iridescence to it. So I was trying to achieve that by mixing some tan color and then going over it with the ivory so it would be kind of muted, and it kind of worked, but it wasn't quite, I don't know, something's missing. Okay, so my original idea was to make it look like mother of pearl. After I did it, I did not like, because there was not enough contrast and it was getting lost in the background. So after that, I decided that maybe I just need to sand it off and start again. That happens sometimes. But since I had nothing to lose, I decided to try a couple different techniques. Let me show you one of the ones I tried. Can you guys see it? I thought that maybe like a linen look might look cool. Does it look like linen? I think it does. I think it definitely looks a little bit like linen, but I wasn't completely satisfied on it. I don't know why. Like, I think it does look like linen, and if I had worked a little bit more on it, it might have looked cool, but it wasn't what I wanted, so I decided to try something else. Let me put this out of the way. Okay, and again, I almost left this part out and didn't show you all this process because it really isn't relevant to the final finish, but I think part of the process is figuring out and trying things and pushing yourself to try something different. And a lot of times people don't show you whenever they fail at something, and it may seem like people just know what they're doing. I sometimes don't know. I have an idea and I don't know if it's gonna work, and that's what happened. It didn't work. I'm gonna try it again, but since it didn't work, I had to make a decision. And like I said, I was gonna sand it off, then I tried that linen look, but it wasn't what I wanted for this piece. I don't know why, I don't know how to explain it. Then I decided to try something else, and let me show you what it looks like, because I actually really like it, and that's what we're gonna do now. Can you see it? How does it look? So this needs to be touched up a little bit. These were my test pieces, and I don't know if you can see this edge, that's where I had the tape. And with this design, I actually want to bring the design all the way to the edge, so I'm gonna have to redo that. This is my test piece. I wanted it to look like a concrete wall that is aged and deteriorated, and like people had painted a pattern on it and then you paint over it. I don't know, like concrete and worn, but also really clean and classy, even though it does have some neutral colors. So I put some gray. I try to put some metallic gray, silver, but it's kind of getting lost in here. But I also put some gold in it, and I'm liking how it looks because the gold warms it up a little bit, since this is like a warm color, even though it can tend to look cool. But you guys know I'm more of a warm color kind of person, so yeah, so this is what we're gonna do, and let me show you how we're gonna get here. If you sat through the entire video and all you wanted to know was this piece of information, here it is, but also thank you for watching. I grabbed a piece of wood, and it's just a smooth piece of wood, and I grabbed my paint and brushed it over the top of the piece of wood, and then lightly scraped the front of my drawer. The idea here is that the stencil will grab onto the paint, and by using a piece of wood, it will distribute unevenly because we don't want it to be all the same. So I grabbed different colors. Like I said, I used a soft warm gray, I used a pewter color, and I also used a metallic gold. Same concept, you brush it onto the block of wood and then you scrape it gently on top of the drawer. The stencil that I'm using I found on clearance a long time ago, so I bought it and never used it because I hadn't found the perfect piece until this. But since it was on clearance, I couldn't find it for you guys. But I'm going to link one from Cutting Edge Stencil. I've used them before and I love their stencils. So it's going to be in the description box. I'm going to give you a couple options that look somewhat similar. I mean, you'll get the same effect. They do have a small option and a large option. The large one is quite a bit more expensive, but it does save you some time. It is entirely up to you though. And I do make a small commission if you guys help me out by purchasing from that link. I decided to paint the inside of my drop leaf in the darker, slightly darker gray. In fact, it's the same darker gray that I used on the front to kind of create that effect. So just to give it a little bit of more interest, more contrast, more fun, and I think it turned out great. So then let's just go ahead and put the hardware back on. What if it doesn't work? Oh my god, it worked! Okay guys, that is it as far as the creative process goes on this. I have plenty of videos on waxing and sealing by hand and all of that if you want to watch that. But yeah, I hope y'all liked it. I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, like it's a little bit on the eclectic side, but hopefully it inspired you if you had something like this in mind, or if it goes with your style. Like I see it in a super modern house with a lot of metallic, like even silver or gold metallic accents, kind of like Z gallery type of situation. I also see it in like an industrial house because it has like a concrete vibe. So either way, I think it would work. The colors are still very, very neutral. So I hope I definitely inspire you to create something similar. I loved it. It was a lot of fun, and it's just a reminder that sometimes things don't go according to plan, but that's okay. So yeah, if y'all liked it, give me a thumbs up. I'm gonna go finish spraying it, but don't forget to follow me on the social media, on Instagram. Okay, love you, goodbye.
Was that you living in someone else's dreams?